Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boys, Kyle and Petey. Woo! Today we're talking about Stargirl. We're talking about that new hit show that just landed on CW. It's a Jeff Johns property. He did a comic book about it where he brought back old DC characters forward. And Stargirl has a 93% Rotten Tomatoes score.
You can't have that. There's no chance of that. We lost Mars. Oh no. He was attacked.
Bro.
What happened? Stargirl attacked you?
You put the hex.
I'm shocked by what
Petey
you were
put
saying.
the hex on him.
Look, it says it in Rotten Tomatoes, bro. You can either believe it or not believe it.
All right, let's give this thing a go. Let's start this up. Let's see what we got here.
Can we start again?
No, keep going. Ready?
Right.
Let's look at this thing.
That was the first
Wrong Stargirl, bro.
Yeah, Pete.
Come on, there can't be two of them.
No, cut.
Lord, you guys
He
are
did it on
rough.
purpose. He did it on purpose, bro. Yo, man, don't be wasting our time, man. What you trying to do, bro?
It's not the right one? Lord, I tried.
You know full well it's not the right one. You're just upset that the show got a 93% average tomato meter score. It has 90% audience review. It's done pretty good. The first episode did pretty good with the numbers. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Jeff Johns has come out. It looks like a winner. What it is right now. So, but take a look at the trailer that Petey's about to show us, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It has a lot of spunk. It has
There's
a character who was
in this thing for I don't know what reason.
I think it's that they're taking a different market. You have DC, the CW, Berlanti, Arrowverse universe. They're trying to get different audiences. And here they're trying to get a younger, more female demographic naturally. I mean, because really the Arrowverse is mostly a big female demographic. And here you have a younger demographic that they're going after. The main hero is a young female. This is the same actress who was in a show called Bella and the Bulldogs about a female quarterback. And she seems to be doing well here. She's been able to transition. Her family's moving to Nebraska, and she discovers the staff. What's the name of that staff? The Starman staff, and therefore becomes Stargirl. How she goes through her, how she becomes herself. How she becomes using the power of the staff to become Stargirl. And do they have? Huh?
No, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So you have a pretty good supporting cast. You have Amy Smart. You have I keep forgetting this guy's name all the time.
What's the name? Wilson? What's the name? Luke Wilson?
Yeah. Flip Wilson?
Luke Wilson, not Flip Wilson.
Yeah, his brother is is it Luke Wilson? He has a brother.
And Owen? You talking about Owen Wilson? His brother.
Yeah, his brother is Owen Wilson. So yeah. But it seems like a pretty interesting show. It's enjoyable, and I think I like it. The audience is going to like it.
Well, I'm going to ask you some questions about this afterward. Let's look at this trailer.
A new generation of justice. Stargirl.
Are you there? Starman! The Justice Society must live on. Someone with honor must carry the torch.
I know this has been difficult. The move and a new stepfather, but we're gonna make a good life.
Amy Smart.
Hey, sorry, that's
Yes.
delicate.
There it goes. There it goes.
It's extremely temperamental. Staff's not supposed to work for anyone except Starman.
This has to be the reason the staff lit up. The staff chose me, and I choose you.
Oh my
I never
gosh.
thought there'd be another Starman.
Stargirl.
Oh well, we somehow survived that.
Petey, I don't believe you.
You got you too? It too?
The friendly kid show. I think it's going to be the next
At
big
me,
thing after
at
Flash.
me, PD.
It's going to be the next big thing after the Flash, and you're like, hey, it's fun, it's entertaining, it's fresh. Jeff Johns' vision of Stargirl seems different and
But I wish more of the shows were. See, Stargirl looks like a show for kids. Okay, it looks like a perfect show for kids to jump in, get some comic book stuff under their feet, and have some fun with it. What I would love is for a show like The Flash to be like it was that first season, comic book show for guys who like The Flash, and then it became for women and children very, very quickly, just like the rest of, just like a bunch of the rest of them. What is there to dislike about the show? This is a classic comic book motif. You find some sort of power, or you inherit it from something. You're finding your way through the whole thing. It's Spider-Man. It's the legacy that most DC characters as younger partners would inherit. It's right there with all of it. They got a fine lead actress for it. The supporting cast looks good. There's very little for me to dis. I mean, I saw it already, so I enjoyed the first episode. I said, but this is what I would want out of something like this. Stargirl, yes, this is what I want out of a show like this for a teen superhero. Fine. If I have anything to kvetch about, it's that when it comes time for me to see a different show, like Legends or something of that nature, it's either slapstick or it's so much melodrama. I was like, why can't I see exactly what they're doing with Stargirl? That's it for this show. Excellent. Kudos. Hats off. Applause. Why can't we do that with other shows? With the exception of maybe Black Lightning. Black Lightning has its issues when it goes over the top with politics. The rest of the shows are unbearable half of the time.
Well,
Jeff Johns in all the shows.
Well, no. Look at this. He had too many credits on there as an EP, created for TV4 and writer. He needed a little help on this thing, and ultimately, this is kind of hard because it hit all of the normal stuff, like from way back. Remember way back when there was a show called Webster, and Webster turned to Ma'am and said, "You're not my mom." And then ever since then, kids, Gary Coleman, Spider-Man, and it's like they did it in this one too. So I think it could develop into an okay show. But the beginning, because that opened with the Justice Society, because we've all seen that part, right? That was a little like under the hood type of thing. It was a little cheesy on that. I didn't feel for them taking out all of the Justice Society like that. And
that's a hard one to swallow because there's no build up to what villain could actually take out the Justice Society this easily. It looks like they're walking in and mowing them down.
Yep.
At the end of the day, but then there was, I can't say I like that portion, but the rest of it was solid. Her story is what I'm tuning in for. Her story is solid. But again, it speaks to a lot of the issues that I have when they do superhero stuff where, it's like the costumes, it's like, does the costume have to look this hokey? Especially since now I know you guys can do better.
But look at hers. Look at her costume. That's good. That's really good.
Her costume looks really, again, looks like something a kid would wear. That looks pretty fine. But then you got the adults and it looks like they're still wearing the kid costume.
Yeah.
You guys can't do any better than this. Like, no. And this stuff works in the comics. When you see Hawkman's suit looks cool. It's not you're looking at him like, oh man, this dude looks like he's wearing some teenager Halloween outfit. Hawkman looks cool the way that he's rendered. And they rarely try to approximate what you see in terms of art with what they can do in terms of costuming. Instead, they try to deflect, like, okay, no, we can't do anything like that in the comic. We got to do something else. So we'll give him some military grade looking outfit and slap a hawk in the middle of it. And the wings won't be there most of the time. They'll just come out when he's flying, along those lines. And you have to ask yourself, it works in the comic. At no point are you ever looking at it and saying, hey, this looks like, sticking out like a sore thumb. So those issues, still stand with the adult superheroes and the approach they have for them. But right here, again, I said, when I was looking at this, I said, this is the right approach to a teen superhero, to a kid superhero at the end of the day. It's the same. They got a lot of the same stuff they got right in Shazam. When they're coming over here with Captain Marvel, like, yeah, this is what you would expect coming in for a kid. The kids loved it. The only thing I thought, they just didn't promote that film well enough. They should have made a lot more money.
I'm in agreement with you almost everything, shockingly, Cal. So, And I gotta throw some cold water on you, PD. Yeah, it's clearly it is. And I think what's happening here is the Arrowverse, as we see, there is clearly evolving. That's the main DC thing, this consistent and connected universe compared to some of the other things that DC and Warner have thrown out over the years. But, they have the issue, they have this, they have the Flash, and they have different audiences they're going for. And then you have, like, Batwoman, a different audience that they're going for there. And they're working Supergirl and Legends, the slapstick that we get from them. And I think this definitely falls into, like Cal says, into the kid area. In terms of the Justice Society, I think it's a great introduction to the Justice Society, who and what they are and what they can do.
What do you mean? They took them out.
Listen to what I'm going to say, but I'm saying it starts off there. But if she's inheriting the mantle of a Justice Society, possibly there may be other characters who will come in, and that will bring them also into the whole. Because everybody knows the Superman and Batman and Robin, but the whole Justice Society, a lot of those characters people don't know about. I think when they got taken out, you saw Solomon Grundy was there. There was quite a couple of other characters, but it was a team that took them out, and therefore there's going to have to be a team that takes them probably back in, take those guys out in the future too. One last thing is, if you're an Arrowverse fan, you're going to see all the same places. So the small town basically looks like Smallville. The castle, that's the Lex Luthor castle that they used before in Smallville, is the castle they used for the home that they used for
support, or in a negative for it.
It's not negative. I'm just saying that they got a budget. You know what I'm trying to say? And the budget, they got to use as much stuff as possible. They've showed that one house, that brick house, in so many different angles, from Smallville to Flash to Arrow. Is like, you've seen this house so many different times. So yeah, that's all I wanted to put out. But hey, I think it's gonna be a pretty good show. Give it a chance. Stop being a grump, Petey.
No, I think one of the things of how the development between Luke Wilson's character and the lead girl, when she's in there, she's totally not with him. She's not with him at all. And then when she gets the staff and finds all his stuff that she's not supposed to be in, then she's like, I'm halfway in now in our relationship that quickly, because I got all this cool stuff, and I just I just did all this stuff with the staff now. And that I was kind of iffy on. I was like, why is she like that sort of thing? She's not supposed to be going through all this stuff like that. And she immediately turned it around on him. It's like, oh, you weren't telling me some things. And I was just like, all right, she needs to chill.
Show. It's a kid show, and what the kids show.
Alf. It turns Alf is like a kid show too, and it turns into like her having too much. Like he's got a
on the kid show or the Disney shows. What do? They always reverse this stuff. The parents are snooping through your stuff. Now you snoop through their stuff. And when you come up
through her stuff,
when your parents snoop through your stuff, they're like, you invaded my privacy. It's like, it doesn't matter that I invaded your privacy because I found this. That's why you don't have any privacy. They do that stuff all the time with the kid shows.
Yep, all the time.
That doesn't make it good, though. That's the problem I'm having.
It's not for you. It's for the kids. It's the reason. It's like when you watch
I'm not throwing away the kid stuff. I'm saying the development of those two characters. You can't just say, well, it's a kid show in the sense of saying she doesn't.
I'm talking about that instance right there with her snooping through the stuff. If you want to say, I think your point is legitimate about her warming up to him that quickly, but then it's either what they usually do is one extreme or the other. Either they warm up very quickly, or they spend the whole season being a sourpuss before they finally realize, oh, this is a decent guy. And I don't like either one of them. But they're off to the races, so they make their decision as to how they do it.
Well, I mean, we're here not to just say, hey, well, that's what they're going to do, right? So we're not here to just say, well, they're going to do what they're going to do. The point of it,
do what they're going to do.
The point of it is that they have a situation where she's very against it, and then she's immediately now like they're buddy and buddy, and I was just like, and then
she's interested, bro. It's interested. She doesn't have other things working for her, so she becomes very interested. It only makes sense. She comes there thinking that she's going to be able to do certain things like gymnastics. It doesn't work out. So what happens? She finds this, but she discovers a whole new world, and she's interested. Why she like comic book heroes? Who knows? But now she's interested, and so that's it. Yo, bro, it's called suspension of disbelief. Okay.
That's not because when the staff is the suspension of disbelief. Then if you go to this other stuff, it's like you're asking a lot. Now, all right, I'm going to ask you guys a different question. Has this reinvigorated the Arrowverse, or maybe the Stargirl verse since Arrow's going away? Is this reinvigorating the whole
Are they gonna have
CW
this on?
superheroes?
Is this going to be on the CW? When is it coming out on the CW? Since they're showing it on DC Universe.
Well, they probably show it there too afterwards.
No, it's.
You know?
I saw the first episode on DC Universe.
Oh, I saw it on Arrow, on
CW.
on CW.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought it was strictly C. I thought it was strictly CW. What I do like is that they're trying to continue on after Arrow's gone, so on and so forth. They're trying to continue on. They usually how it usually works, and Mars can chime in if I'm wrong. But usually how it works is that they make this stuff, and then when they bring out everything else, they usually try to wrap up everything close to around the same time. So your flagship dies off, and then everything else seems to like kind of die off within, a little bit of that particular entropy. But they started up new series when they knew that Arrow was going to be done in in a season or two. Is like, okay, we're going to keep this train going. You already have a new series in Batgirl. You have Black Lightning, which was getting started up at the time when Arrow was winding down. You've got Stargirl coming out here right now, and most of the older series, to be quite honest, most of those guys are ready to stop at this juncture. And you can see they still have other stuff coming down the pike. They got Superman and Lois Lane coming down the pike. So these guys aren't looking to stop at all. They're probably going to keep going. I don't know if you can still call it the Arrowverse, but yeah, they've got enough stuff coming down the pike right now. And if they can deliver something as solid, as Stargirl is in the first episode, maintain that, and to maintain it over seasons. Instead of I was watching The Flash the other day, and it was just so disappointing because that first season was excellent. And then the next two seasons weren't too bad. They weren't as good as the first, but they weren't too bad. And now you're like, what the hell is going on? If they could actually maintain it and just understand that, okay, Stargirl, we don't have to do this formulaic thing that we do on all the other shows. We can do this. We can do that. We can do that. And then, really come out, and you got people watching Stargirl for what it brings. You can have other people watching this show for what it brings. Fine. But if you watch a show like Stargirl, and that's excellent, and then you watch a show like Superman and Lois Lane, and he looks like some sort of cow domesticated jerk, there's your answer at this point. You can't go on with that. You've got to make these shows, okay, where they appeal to people who want to be drawn into that particular world, and their worlds are different. If that happens, yeah, you can keep going. This could go on for, this could go on for as long as you've got characters who can come down the pike and interest people. Other than that, it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah, and Greg Berlanti has basically made his bones with this. He's been able to do a whole bunch of stuff on TV because of this, and done other DC characters. I think he did Constantine on NBC. The point, though, is that these characters, this is just a second. Think of it like how you had Phase 1 for Marvel. They're moving into probably Phase 3, because I think Phase 1 was the Arrow, and then they moved into Phase 2 with the Flash, and then they started having all the other shows coming out. And now this is Phase 3, where you're going to have this and Lois and other stuff coming in. So it's pretty interesting what they're doing. And that's why I say they have more of a plan of what's going on with the DC universe. And they've been pretty successful because they have niched down. So, you want to focus on African American viewers, you do the Black Lightning. You focus on younger kids, you're doing Stargirl. You want to focus on LB, whatever, the whole thing, LBTQ.
We're done now. You didn't get the letters right. You didn't get the letters right.
They're going to toast us. Thanks, Mars.
It was a mistake, bro. But I'm just saying, look. So it
was your mistake.
And you find that there's viewers for all those things, people who are underserved, who haven't been getting heroes that they wanted to do. I think there is a need to improve the story writing, but it's a big organization now and stuff that's happening. And one of the biggest shows that they have is always the crossovers, right? So, now you're going to have Stargirl, you're going to have the new Superman and Lois. Is it going to be called Lois and Clark?
Superman and Lois is the title that I've seen so far.
We're out.